You are made of stardust. I I've gotten to hang out with and hear a really interesting person speak several times. His name's Dr. David Wilkinson. He has the unique credentials of a PhD in both astrophysics and theology, and he's a Methodist minister in Britain. He teaches at the University of Durham in Durham, England. But he when you listen to him talk, it's really amazing. He tells of the beginning of creation, right? How there was this 13 plus billion years ago, there's this huge explosion, and all of these very basic elements were created, and then it kind of came together in these clouds that condensed to form stars that eventually exploded. And it's in the stars that there is this factory to make all these much more complex elements, the elements really that we are made of, carbon and all of that. And when they explode and scatter those elements across the universe, and then those elements sort of congeal, condense into planets, that's the beginning of us. And ultimately it means that really everything we see is made of stardust. It also means that we are connected to everything around us, to the earth, to the creation, to the universe, in a profound way. And the Bible tells us that. It tells us that we are created from all of this. But even more than that, that God has placed us in a role of caretaker of creation. I like that because it really means that in some ways everything is spiritual. And it very much means that the things that we do to care for creation is spiritual. That's actually why I'm out here on Garbage Day. Here in Los Altos, we have 3 trash cans: recycling, organics, and trash. The trash is the smallest one because we have to be careful. Because if we aren't careful, our laziness will cause us to just create and fill the world with trash to pollute the environment. We already have done that. The humans' effect on climate and on this world is really, in some ways, disastrous. But that's not just an environmental problem. The Bible tells us, Dr. Wilkinson would tell you, that that's a theological problem. And it is incumbent upon us as Christians to be actively engaged in being part of the solution to that problem, to keep shrinking the size of our trash cans, to keep worrying and caring about how much CO2 and CFCs we are releasing into the atmosphere, and how much meat we are consuming that is a huge source of all of that. It's a spiritual issue. And that's where I think there's something for us today. A reminder that spiritual things aren't just from the Bible, and a spiritual act is not just opening up and reading the Bible or sitting down to pray or whatever, or meditate. but really taking care of the recycling, reducing our waste, reducing our carbon footprint, those too are spiritual acts. So as you live into your call, the call that God has placed on you to care for creation, I want you to think about this week as a spiritual act. What is something that you can do to make sure that, at least from your life is trying to make Earth a better place, make creation more healthy and not more polluted?